Losing confidence in your ability to retire? Why? Let's see how retirees are dealing with this. Sorry about the sun. We got some sun coming in. It's a hot day out there here in North Georgia, man. It's nice. It's just outside getting some sun on my pasty white skin. How dare you say pasty white? All right, we're going to go in this retirement confidence survey from EBRI, Employee Benefit Research Institute, which I'm a huge fan of. I did this on the live stream the other day, but we're going to dive into it a little bit quicker and succinctly here. But if you're not following my live streams, Tuesday, Thursday at noon Eastern and 8 p.m. Sunday Eastern time as well. So EBRI and Grenwald Research, sponsored by all these guys. American Century, American Funds is in here someplace, T. Rowe Price, Bank America, BlackRock. Anyway, so basically what they've done, they surveyed, this is the longest running survey of its kind, the Retiree Confidence Survey, measuring worker and retirees' confidence about retirement. It's conducted by EBRI. The survey was 2,677 Americans, was conducted online January 4th through January 26th of 2022. All respondents were age 25 and older. It included 1,500 workers and 1,100 retirees with an oversample of roughly 807 57 flavors. Why would you? That doesn't make any sense. A huge oversampling of 57 flavors. But anyway, so we're going to go into this anyway, because BDSM. It's a survey. It's statistically relevant. Now, I don't get the sampling of that many, but BDSM. Unchanged from 2021, 7 in 10 workers are still somewhat confident in their ability to retire, and 3 in 10 are very confident. Retirees, that's workers now. Remember, it's 2, retirees and workers. Retirees also remain confident, with nearly 8 in 10 confident they will have enough money to live comfortably. How dare they? Even as the effects of the scandemic abated, still a third of workers and almost a quarter of retirees said the scandemic has made them less confident. Well, I get that, because a lot of people are, about a quarter of the population are fearful of everything, man. We're going to die of nuclear war, acid rain. What was the thing? Nuclear war, acid rain, homelessness. It's just every year is a new thing to be concerned with. What's it now? Ukraine, Russia, China. All right, so let's keep going down here. I just want to show you here. We're going to go into the survey results here. The visual, which I like, right here. As in 2021, slightly more than 7 in 10 workers are confident in having enough money to live comfortably in retirement. And we go back to 1993, all right? 7 in 10 workers. My wife's texting me one second. So I can't remember where we left off, but 74% of workers were comfortable in their retirement plans in 1993. Fast forward 30 years, and 73% are still comfortable in their retirement plan. 18% were very comfortable in 1993. 28% are now. And that's 1,545 workers. Now we go down to retirees. And actually more retirees are comfortable than they were in 1993. In 1993, 76% of the retirees surveyed, and again, 1,100 right there, were comfortable. Now 77. In 1993, 28% were very comfortable or very confident. Now it's 33. And look at this. Even in 2009, 2/3 of retirees were still confident in their ability for retirement to maintain their quality of life, and 54% of workers. It's just the whole thing about we're going to run out of money. Where is the evidence of this? Let's keep going here one sec. Now, here's why the workers who feel less confident. 611 feel less confident. 167 feel more confident. So a lot more feel less confident than confident, but still, the reason is because these people pay attention to whatever the news of the day is. Right now, they're worried about inflation, cost of living increase. I guarantee 2 years goes COVID. I guarantee is terrorism at one point in these surveys. It's just whatever's in the news. Just stop reading the freaking news, man. Stop listening to it. It's just stupid. Retirees remain confident they'll have enough money to take care of their basic expenses. 7 in 10 believe they'll have enough money to keep up with inflation. Again, I want the horror stories of people that don't have enough money in retirement. I'm sure that probably 10 to 15% of the population. That's not going to be you, man. It's just not. So let me just stop. Always the biggest concern. Almost half of retirees state planning for future health care and long-term care needs is one of their top three longer-term financial planning priorities. Actually, is number one. The number one concern, if you will, is healthcare costs and retirement, and that's just what everyone focuses on because it's unknown. It's just such an unknown. You don't know what you don't know. It's scary. I grant you, 100%. But here's what I say to that. It's like, all right, so you're going to work a couple extra years because you're scared about the long-term care side of things and the healthcare costs. So I'm going to continue to work to deal with what could be a future issue. And a lot of you, I know for a fact, the working is actually putting you in the grave. It's making you less healthy. It's making you less physically fit. It's making you more stressed. All those things lead to healthcare costs. It's almost like I'm going to keep working this crappy little stressful job so I can deal with future healthcare costs. I'm like, the future healthcare costs are basically contingent on your job because your job is freaking killing you, man. Nearly half of workers say debt has negatively impacted their ability to save for retirement. I completely agree. Half of workers say debt has negatively, nearly half, where only 27% of retirees say that. Wonder why that would be. Well, I'll show you why. Here's from my soon-to-be book. Actually, right now I'm titling it Relax and Retire, Debunking Inflation Fears. And right here in 2009, 82% of all households over the age of 75, yes, right here. All households over the age of 75 were had owned a home. 80% of all households over the age of 75 owned a home. In 2014, that is, excuse me. 66% of all households aged 75 or older had no mortgage. Pretty interesting, huh? 5 years previous, if you're between the age of 65 and 74, 82% of all households in that age group, 65 to 74, had a home, owned a home, of which 52% of all households had no mortgage. So you can see the home ownership dropped from 82 to 80, but the home ownership without a mortgage went from 52 to 66%. And that's what leads to here. A lot of those people who are still in this category, some of these guys are still working and they still have that debt. They pay off the debt, they go to here, and now debt no longer negatively impacts their ability to save for retirement. Along these lines, 65% of retirees say debt is not a problem. Only 45% of workers say debt is not a problem. 65% of retirees say debt is not a problem. 26% of retirees say debt is a minor problem. So if we take those numbers, that's 91% of retirees say debt is a minor problem or not a problem at all. That's why retirees are in good shape and why they're like, man, life is good, man. Interestingly, in 2022 compared to 2021, more retirees report that their overall spending is higher than expected. This is also true regarding housing and travel expenses. Right, that's interesting. So there are more retirees say, yeah, we're spending more money. Well, that would make sense given Sniffy Joe's inflation because of the green crap that they're putting on us. It's amazing how cheap energy leads to low inflation. High energy leads to high inflation. Let's blame the Fed, though. Interestingly, many more workers are confident in Social Security today than they were in 1992. Isn't that interesting? So in 1992, only 34% were either very or somewhat confident. I guess that's no. 31% were very or somewhat confident. Fast forward to 2022, 52% are very or somewhat confident in Social Security. That's still lower than I would like, but still, that's still a pretty significant increase. Interesting. It's almost like the spread of ability to get other information on social media is actually a benefit here to recognize that Social Security ain't going bankrupt in terms of what people think it is. You're going to get Social Security. And right here, 69% of retirees are still somewhat very or somewhat confident in Social Security compared to only 48% in 1992. Then we had why did that drop off in 2018? That's interesting. But look at that. Huh. That's interesting. So I mean, I don't know what to say on that. I like it. More people are more confident in Social Security. Less likely that they're going to take it from you. So that's pretty much all we have here. The point being is, once again, the vast majority of retirees are somewhat satisfied, if not very satisfied, in retirement. Year in, year out, year in, year out. So how could it be that everyone is running out of money if 80% of all people over 75 years old, all households over 75 years old, own their home, and was it 66% of all households over 75 have no mortgage, where 80% of retirees are very comfortable or somewhat comfortable in retirement? How could it possibly be that people are running out of money? The answer is it is not. It's just not. And yet we are hearing it all the time as if it's likely. Why? Evidence, please. And there ain't none. All right. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.